Hello everybody, how are you guys doing? This is me, Akabela, and we're back with a brand fresh new episode for you guys. How's the coldness? How's the rain? How's the cloud treating you? I'm enjoying it, in fact, and I hope today's content will make you feel warm and help you guys get into that cozy vibes of the summer. So today on our coffee time, we will be taking you guys to one of the most amazing experience that I have had, I could say. If you're a type of person like me, if you think, what kind of things do high-profile people do when they have free time, I guess this segment will be your interesting one, because I'll be spending time with an ambassador. I'll be having a very good chat. I'll be communicating. I'll be having that free talk, and we'll try to see what kind of how ambassadors enjoy their free time outside of work, because they have a huge responsibility. So I don't want to spoil it for you guys and tell you which country's ambassador he is, but I want you guys to see it, enjoy it, and we'll be back. Today I went to Armenia. When I say that, it doesn't mean literally to the state of Armenia, but the one that can be considered as, which is the embassy. And I'll be spending a very quality time with the ambassador and talk about some few things about Armenia and Ethiopia, and what kind of time does he spend when he's on his free schedule, what kind of personality does he have, and what's his impression about Ethiopia. So today on our coffee time, we will be spending time with the ambassador. Come in with us. Thank you so much for giving me your time. I've told my audience where I am, but it's just a bit of highlight. But tell us where exactly and about yourself.
Well, thank you. First of all, thanks for this opportunity. Thank you for making it. This is the Embassy of the Republic of Armenia to the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. We have a relatively, let's say, a new embassy. It was established about 4 years ago. But of course, we have a long-standing, the close relationship with Ethiopia for centuries. We have a small staff as embassy, not many staff members, but of course we are very much committed to make a difference and to boost or promote our bilateral relations with Ethiopia, with our host country. And also as embassy, as ambassador, I'm accredited to UNECA, United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, and formerly, very soon, also to African Union. And also in the future, probably I will be accredited to some of the neighboring countries of Ethiopia. For myself, what I would say, the meaning of my first name Sahak, it derives from the Bible name Isaac or Isaac in English world, which is, I believe, in Amharic Isaac, if I'm not mistaken. And the meaning is, the rejoice or being happy, happiness. So I'm a happy person, in other words. I'm married with beautiful wife, and we have 3 children. 2 boys and 1 baby girl, just born less than a year ago. She's going to be 1 year old very soon.
Congratulations and all the achievements that you have achieved. But I couldn't really help myself but wonder what kind of impression people will have when they first come to Ethiopia. What was your first impression about it?
So the first of all is the warm and the welcoming, as I said, the approach that I've been encountering since I arrived to Ethiopia. And talking about impressions, probably the other one is to find that we have a lot of the common things with Ethiopians as Armenians. I knew from my, let's say, history textbook, but not very much in details and on the ground. So there were some interesting discoveries also for me with regard to your cuisine, which is very good. I like it, very tasty, and sometimes it's spicy. But the first discovery for me, which is really a type of surprise that I encountered, is injera.
I was about to ask you.
Of course, the tradition or the custom of making coffee and serving it, I'm sorry. It's also another interesting aspect of your culture, let's say. Since my first day of arrival, I fell in love with the country.
I mean, you know, sometimes whenever you just push yourself to look beyond, there's a lot of things to see and a lot of places to go, a lot of culture to understand and learn. What is it that you love to do in your free time? Because there are a lot of responsibilities, a lot of work to do, you know, all those responsibilities on your shoulder. So when you get that free time, what do you usually do to relax yourself?
Whenever I have a free time, usually I do like spend my time in the beautiful parks that you have, for example, Friendship Park and Unity Park, which are not far from the place I stay. So I try to do also some exercising, some exercise as well, workout in these parks. Of course, I enjoy going to the theaters and I watch movie. I like watching movie as well. Whenever time permits. Also going to museums and some the art shows, etc. Also, I'd like to, whenever I have a time, I try to spend, you know, my, let's say, to get spiritual enrichment in the Sunday liturgy, and we have an Armenian church here not far from Piazza. I usually try to attend the Mass service on Sundays, Sunday morning. So those are the things that I usually try to do.
Yeah. So what's your favorite movie so far? Recommend us.
Jack Nicholson's movie, one that I can remember is the impressive ones that I still, I mean, I always watch it over and over, is the jump over cuckoo's nest, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not good at titles.
I'm not sure about the title because I was trying to translate from the Armenian language.
Okay. You can say it in
Russian
Armenian.
Language.
Yes.
But yeah. Okay.
If
it makes any difference to you.
I think now we should just go around, show us the place, and we will talk the rest things then.
With pleasure.
Okay, so I think you've been telling me about that cloth, that traditional cloth. Is it possible for you to change that?
Okay, of course, with pleasure. I will do that right away.
Okay.
Okay,
perfect.
If you don't mind.
So I think you go ahead and change your clothes.
Okay.
I'll just walk around and see the house.
Okay.
All right.
Let's proceed to the next room, which is my room actually, the ambassador's office.
Okay.
And okay, let's start from here.
But before we start,
okay,
let's take the time to appreciate how you're looking.
Oh yeah, this is really nice. I hope it looks nice.
It looks good. You should wear it often.
So
now we're about to see the pictures and the historical meaning of the picture. So let's start with this one, I guess.
Yeah, this is actually, let's say, panoramic view from the downtown of my capital towards the biblical mountain called Ararat. Ararat is in the Bible. Let's proceed to the next one.
Sure. Okay.
So we
can
have
I guess
here.
Before?
All right.
Sorry.
Let's try if you can.
Let's try that. So I'm like trying to guess that this thing is right here on the bottom has their own implication. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean this is correct.
Okay.
You mean these ones, right, on the bottom?
Yes.
Yeah, this is like you know, the manuscripts from the manuscripts that we have in medieval, even early medieval, let's say, years.
Okay.
From old, let's say, books, and we have here our alphabet actually, starting from the first letter up until the last letter. We have in Armenian alphabet we have 39 letters. Okay. I believe in Amharic you have 26.
Yes.
Anyway,
sorry, yeah.
And you know, it's starting from the first letter, as I said, it's a A or I in our I, Ben, Gim, Da. So this is the sequence. I, Ben, Gim, Da, Yech, Za, E, At. So
how do you pronounce this one? This one is To in Amharic.
this is like Christos. It's a Jesus Christ. It's a K.
That symbol symbolizes Jesus Christ.
Yes,
Wow.
it's like the Christ. She itself is almost like, looks like a Christ.
Okay.
So you can find a lot of similarities. If you turn it upside down, you will see some very familiar letters with old gears. So the next one is medieval church. It's located in one of our regions. It's called Vajottsor, the area, and the church is Narekavank. Yeah, I mean the surrounding is like incorporated into the surrounding, into the environment. I mean, one day I hope you will visit Armenia and you will go there. It's very nice. And this is another important place for Armenia, for Armenians. It's in a unique region. It's the southern region of Armenia, and this is also a cathedral in the middle of the mountains, on the top of the hill. It used to be also university. And we have a downtown of Armenia, the Yerevan, I'm sorry, the capital city of Armenia. It's a Republic Square, and we have a government building. There is a flag on top of it. And we have also the singing fountains, yes.
So now, you know, you're looking really good. You're looking pretty much Ethiopian today. So now we should have a coffee while you're looking like this.
Of course. What else? I mean, the coffee is a must.
Is a must.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's proceed to the coffee chair or table.
Okay, after you.
Sure. No, you are. The ladies are first.
Thank you. So now our coffee is ready. So is the an. So let me pour the coffee, right?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You're so kind. You know, talking about the coffee, you know, there is a joke that everyone claims that the coffee is their or ours. Let me help you.
Thank you.
For example, you know, the Greeks, they say it's a Greek coffee. I don't know, Armenians say that's Armenian coffee. Turks say it's Turkish coffee. But the most important thing, the coffee comes from Ethiopia, the birthplace of the coffee itself, Arabica coffee. So I like this, the part of your custom or tradition as like the ritual to serve the coffee. It's very nice.
And it's cool, like if the coffee is really nice, if the color is a perfect color, you say it looks like Yedoro Ain. It means like it's like the color of a hen, like the eye color of a hen.
Interesting.
So,
okay, thank you.
But you know, like, you probably had this experience of, we all have this routine that we live our day by. Tell us, what kind of routine do you have usually?
Depending on the schedule, it can be like starting from checking emails that you have something from the capital.
Please drink your coffee, it's getting cold.
Yes, thank you. And it can be also, you know, holding staff meetings with embassy staff and also giving some instructions what to do, etc. to the staff. And also interactions with the host country. The foreign ministry would be number one, let's say, the point of contact for ambassadors. So different things. That's what I actually usually do as ambassador. Of course, also attending receptions organized by the host country, also by, you know, the diplomatic community, different embassies that they have the national days, etc. You have to attend as ambassador. Even attending some international conferences or local, let's say, the gatherings and delivering remarks, statements, etc. on behalf of your government or your embassy. So this is probably in a nutshell what I wanted to.
My goodness, I mean, I'm just like picturing your whole day. It's somehow a bit tiring, it's a bit hectic. What is the most, you've mentioned it earlier when you were telling me about the pictures, but what is it that you just found something very common here in Ethiopia with Armenia?
Well, yeah, I mean, I already briefly pointed to some commonalities, so thank you. I should have offered it to you as a host, thank you. By the way, the chocolates are from Armenia. Just for your information, you should try that. Yeah, with, I think it's, they have a fruit, like dried fruits inside. Yes, what I was going to say, the commonalities, similarities. I mean, we have strong bonds with Ethiopia. I mean, in African continent, Ethiopia is number one for us. It comes from the old history that we have. We share with our Ethiopian brothers and sisters. through, I would say, millennia. At least 2,000 years of recorded history we have. The Armenian alphabet and Amharic or Ethiopian or Ge'ez, Old Ge'ez. You know, that's the area that, in my view, needs to be studied by researchers. So, and now we are trying to bring, there is an institute in Armenia of old manuscripts. They are a depository of old manuscripts, and even they have some Ethiopian old Ge'ez manuscripts in Armenia, collection of them. So to study this interaction between our alphabets. Another, of course, area that the commonality that we share is, like I said, the manuscripts. We have a very common way of, let's say, painting. The painting in the old books, let's say, mostly religious books. And there is a very similar type of the painting in historical Cilician Armenia. It's historical part nowadays Turkey. Some of those the paintings are very similar to the Bible, I believe, that was found in Tigray. It's in Ge'ez, the old Ge'ez, and they're like very similar. Armenians of Ethiopia or Ethiopian Armenians. That, I mean, we have recorded, let's say, presence of Armenians since, I believe, 10th century, even before that. Of course, not that, in terms of the numbers, not that much, but since the Emperor Johannes times, and then Menelik, and then Haile Selassie, we had quite a significant influx of Armenians coming, most of them refugees from Ottoman Empire after the Armenian genocide. So what they did, they came here, they've been embraced by Ethiopians, and they've been trusted by emperors, so they reestablished their lives, first of all, as refugees, most of them as refugees, and they try to contribute back to Ethiopian society, to Ethiopian state. There is a book I will give you as a gift about Armenians of Ethiopia. The author is Vardkes Nalbandian. He's a son of Nerses Nalbandian, who laid the foundation of contemporary Ethiopian music, actually, jazz and pop music. So there are so much in common, and so we are so interlinked and intertwined that you would never imagine. I mean, yeah. Probably it was too long as an answer, but
no, it wasn't. I was just like thinking. I just made his coffee cold. Do you want me to add one?
I'm fine. You can have actually.
I mean,
let me do that for you.
You sure you can do it?
Now it's turning, you know, from my side to you. Turning sides. Yeah. Thank
you. So, you know, it's like Armenia and Ethiopia, as you've said, have a lot of things in common. Okay. Some of those things that a lot of people do not know. There in Armenia and here also in Ethiopia. And it's also something that I believe it's somehow mandatory for us to understand what kind of relations we have as a state, as a citizen. That will help us enhance what we should do in the future, and at the same time it will help us how we can moderate the relation that we have right now. But sadly, we don't know how common things that we have. I don't want to take much more time from you, but if there's anything else you would love to add, anything else you would love for our audience to know about Armenia, about the relation of these two states, let me give you the chance and let's conclude.
Well, thank you. Of course, before answering your question, I wanted to share a very interesting, let's say, the story, the personal story. You know, the first ever, let's say, trip to Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa. Of course, I've been many times to Egypt, etc. But to Sub-Saharan Africa was in Kenya. To Kenya and Nairobi while attending international UN conference in Nairobi. Okay. You know, and interestingly, it was years ago, you know, when I created my Facebook account, my personal Facebook account, And I put the picture for some reason from that the conference that I was attending in Nairobi. It was in front of Kenyatta International Convention Center, and in a background the picture. This picture is still on my Facebook, by the way, okay. as a profile picture. I mean.
Okay.
So it stays there. So since I created my Facebook account, like I said, and in the background of the picture we have the many African, let's say, dance groups, folk dance, the native, let's say, indigenous the dances and the rituals performed. And also there are a lot of flags, the African flags mostly, and also next to them Armenian flag. So years passed and I was posted here. So I would never imagine that I'll be in Africa again, and not only in Africa but in Ethiopia. So I don't know whether it's a coincidence or it's a destiny, yeah. Whatever it is, I'm happy to be in Ethiopia. I fell in love with Ethiopian people. There used to be quite a strong the presence, though the numbers after 1974 decreased, Ethiopian Armenians, but they are still quite vibrant, even with the small numbers we have, Ethiopian Armenians. And they come from different walks of life, and for example, you probably heard about the musician, the singer Vahe Tilbiab. He was representing, the Africa to Armenian band in Eurovision. It's the song contest, pan-European song contest. So he was very proud to represent Ethiopia under the flag of Armenia, but as well as being a citizen of Ethiopia in that Eurovision, the song contest. And also, it's by the way, about 100 years ago, it's like exactly 100 years ago, by the invitation of Emperor Haile Selassie. He was not emperor at that time to become emperor. The 40 children came to Addis Ababa, those being the orphans of Armenian genocide, who found refuge in Jerusalem. And then in 1923, I believe, Haile Selassie was visiting Jerusalem. You know, the quarter of the Jerusalem is called Armenian Quarter. So since we are very close in terms of the Orthodoxy, the Christianity, usually Ethiopians, they visit Armenian Quarter. So he actually got surprised seeing these little children playing the instruments like as a band. And then he came back, and then he asked the Armenian Patriarch of Jerusalem to bring the 40 orphans together with the head of this band, Georg Nalbandian, again the Nalbandian family, and they happened to become imperial band of Ethiopia. So
first.
First band. So it was in a movie, I believe, as well, that you've seen, you watched. And it was like 100 years ago, September 1924, they arrived in town. And the conductor was, he also, Georg Nalbandian, he's a composer of your national anthem during the imperial time. It was used up until 1974, and also there is another connection with Africa through this conductor individual, Georg Nalbandian. He's also, he composed also the anthem of Union of African States, predecessor of African Union as organization. So there is much interaction between Ethiopia and Armenia, and also with Africa. And the probably last but not least, I would like to thank you again for this opportunity, and wish Arts TV all success, including your show, the Saturday show, and through you to convey my the greetings and the best wishes to residents of Addis Ababa, and also to the entire people throughout Ethiopia. through you. And also, the last but not least, I would like to give you a couple of small tips from our embassy, on behalf of our embassy, starting with pin that carries our 2 flags.
Thank you.
You have this.
Aw, thank you.
Sure, and then...
So should I put it right over?
If you need my help, I can do that.
Yes.
I can help you. Sure. I had one actually at the beginning, if you
yes.
remember. Then I changed my dress.
Which side should I wear? The left or right?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter?
Closer to your heart.
Okay, closer to so I should have put it on my heart. Okay, let me put it right over here.
Yes. And then this one goes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, and also...
this is so cute!
Looks very nice.
Thank you. I love
next
it.
to our flags. And this book was recently released, and I remember you attending the book presentation. So it's the son of Nerses Nalbandian, author of this book. It's a collection of interesting facts about Ethiopian Armenians.
Okay.
So even you will find, some amazing. It was discovery for me that there was the battalion that was fighting against Italians, invaders during the Adwa battle. Okay. There was a very interesting individual who managed to bring, during the very short period of time, the modern weaponry to that battle place, to Adwa. So it was, let's say, the turning point of the battle.
I see.
So modern weaponry, ammunition, etc., artillery was brought by an Armenian guy whose name was Sarkis Terzian. So anyway, some interesting facts.
Forgive me, I'm not standing, you know.
That's fine, that's fine. I'm not standing as well. Take it easy. So, and also some chocolates from Armenia. Those are I believe it's plum, dried plum inside, covered by chocolate, the one that you have right now. And
I don't think I can handle more.
And also Armenian brandy. The brandy, it's called Ararat. I told you Ararat is the mountain. Yeah. So this is the special, let's say, thing for us. We usually, when we give a gift, we try to have also the brandy, the cognac. We call it cognac, but French, they don't like it when you call it cognac because of the trademark issues. Anyway.
Okay.
So that's also for you.
Oh, thank you so much. Now I feel guilty. I just came here with my hands and legs.
Well, you served the coffee to me, so it's more than fine.
You know? Okay, thank you so much. I have nothing else to say. I had a very good time. I enjoyed our staying, and I hope our audience did too. There's a lot of things that we can bring about. There's a lot of things to see. I have seen Koba. You have Koba.
Yeah,
banana leaves.
Yeah, Koba banana leaves. We have the banana fruits, but it's not ripe enough, unfortunately. But we had about 3 weeks ago the good ones that we usually we share with our embassy staff and our guards, etc. So
yeah, so
and also guests.
That's sure. That's for sure. So thank you so much for having me. The pleasure. I cannot really express the gratitude I have. I had a very good time again, and I hope our audience did too. For about this book, it says Armenians of Ethiopia, Gondar, Adwa, Ankober, Harar, Dredwa, and Addis Ababa. Guys, believe it or not, it says 1515 to 2020. That's a lot. That's a very long
About 500 years.
Exactly, about like 500 years. Buy the book, read, enhance your knowledge about the relation of Armenia and Ethiopia. Again, thank you so much for having me. My last thing that I would love to say before we proceed to the next segment is every one of us are ambassador for who we are, for our identity. So let's just try to make it as simple as possible and know ourselves, know our citizen, know what kind of relation our country has with different states. And that will help us enhance the way we present ourselves for ourselves and even for others globally. I had a very good time.
Thank you.
So I'll send you back to myself, Aga, and we will enjoy our coffee and cookies here. So you're not drinking any.
Well, I will now.
Oh, right.
So you're done, or?
Yes, I'm done. So goodbye.
Okay. We should probably offer coffee to our friends as well.
That's for sure. I hope you guys enjoyed the time we had with Ambassador Sahak. He's a very free person, very interactive, friendly, And our country, Ethiopia, has a very different and very strong ties with different countries, and Armenia and Ethiopia has a lot of strong relation in terms of culture, in terms of history, in terms of like music. Mention it, Ethiopia and Armenia have a very strong relation, and I was able to see that. I had a very good time, and I hope you guys did too. Passing out to our spotlight this week, you know guys, I want to be frank and I want to tell you, when I first was thinking about who I should spotlight this week, I was a bit confused, and I was like, okay, you know what, I want to go with Maria Makeba, you know what, I want to go with Haile Selassie, you know what, I want to go with Haile Gerima, but it was just so confusing because I have this ties with each one of those people that I just mentioned, and finally I came with an agreement to spotlight Haile Gerima because of the resilience and because of that courage and dedication that he has, especially in creating African touch movies in a creative way. So Haile Gerima is widely known because of his major two works, the Sankofa and Eza film. You know, let me tell you my first encounter when I first found out about Sankofa. So I was able to see the trailer, and I was like, what? I mean, what? Is this really something out there, like something out there for people to enjoy? I want to see it. I'm not a movie person, so I don't really interact with movies, films, and stuff like that, but I wanted to see it. I searched about it, I couldn't find it, and I just went through a whole lot of process to find the movie. Eventually I did. So when I first watched it, like when I was first few minutes, I was just so excited. I didn't want to just spend it. I wanted to digest the whole movie. So like it took me, you won't believe, almost a week to finish that movie because I just wanted to enjoy it and just process it slowly. And yeah, that was just so interesting. So after I chose to spotlight Haile Gerima on today's spotlight, I had to do some research, of course. While doing the research, guys, amazingly, I couldn't find any biography about him. Like, I couldn't really find about who Haile Gerima was, what he likes to do. There wasn't quite, you know, like documented things about him. There was, in fact, different interviews that he had at different time. So that's when I understood that my decision was right to spotlight Haile Gerima. So I have prepared a very interesting short narration about who Haile Gerima is. Let's see that and be back. Haile Gerima was born on March 4, 1946 in Gondar, Ethiopia, into a family that valued storytelling and cultural heritage. His father, a playwright and director, played a significant role in shaping Gerima's early exposure to the arts. Growing up in a post-World War II Ethiopia, Gerima was immersed in an environment rich in oral traditions, theater, and cultural narratives, which left a lasting impact on his creative outlook. During his childhood, Ethiopia underwent significant political and social change. The influence of his father's work in theater and storytelling combined with the political climate. During his childhood, Ethiopia underwent significant political and social change. The influence of his father's work in theater and storytelling combined with the political climate instilled in Gerima a strong sense of social justice and awareness of the struggle faced by his people. These formative experiences fueled his passion for using art as a means of social and political community. Gerima's early education in Ethiopia laid the foundation for his later pursuits in film and storytelling. The traditional Ethiopian stories and the historical context of his upbringing provided him with a unique perspective that he would later bring to his films. His childhood in Ethiopia, marked by cultural richness and political awareness, played a crucial role in shaping his identity and artistic vision. Haile Gerima is an influential Ethiopian filmmaker, director, producer, and writer, widely recognized for his pioneering work in African cinema and his contributions to independent filmmaking. Gerima moved to the United States in the late 1960s to study at the University of South California School of Cinematic Arts. There, he became part of the LA Rebellion, a group of young African and African American filmmakers dedicated to creating a new, independent black cinema that would challenge Hollywood's stereotypical portrayals of black people. One of Gerima's most notable films is Bush Mama, a raw and powerful depiction of the struggles faced by African American women in Los Angeles. However, it was his 1993 film, Sankofa, that gained him widespread acclaim. Sankofa, a story about slavery in African diaspora, was remarkable not only for its content but also for Gerima's innovative fundraising and distribution methods, including a successful grassroots campaign. Throughout his career, Gerima has been known for his commitment to social justice and his insistence on maintaining creative and financial independence. He often addresses themes of colonialism, identity, and resistance, seeking to provide a platform for underrepresented voices and histories. His work has been celebrated at numerous international film festivals, and he has received several awards. In addition to filmmaking, Gerima is a dedicated educator. He has taught at Howard University in Washington, D.C. for many years, mentoring a new generation of filmmakers. His influence extended beyond his films, as he has been a vocal advocate for African cinema and independent film industry. Gerima's legacy is marked by his uncompromising vision and his profound impact on cinema, both in terms of content and means of production and distribution. His work continues to inspire filmmakers and audience alike, promoting a deeper understanding of Africa and African diaspora experiences. We're back, guys. You know, every time while doing the research about who we should spotlight every week, I just feel I just couldn't help but just learn something new. I just exclude something in my life at the same time. And when I first read about the story of Haile Gerima, I was able to understand that, you know, sometimes if you have it in your mind as clear as enough, then you have it in your hands. Like when I say in your hands, it doesn't mean like literally on your hands, but in your reality. So the only thing expected from you is to know what you want clearly. Have it clear as possible in your mind. Like imagine it. Have that clear foundation in your head. Then once you have that, trust me, you cannot help yourself but decide. You cannot help yourself but just take the action. You cannot help yourself but make the change that you have to make in order to get that. So I was able to see that if your dream is not crazy, if your dream doesn't put you on the edge and just make you feel like, oh my goodness, is this, like, am I really gonna do that? Like, am I really capable of doing that? If you don't feel that kind of good kind of feeling, yeah, I think some change has to be done. So your dream, doesn't matter how wild it might be, just have it in your mind as clear as it possible, then make the decision, take the action, and you will be able to have it in reality. I was able to see that. Africa is always rising. So, you know, on this segment, we'll be talking about African music, topic that I'll never get fed up of talking. Because I feel like we underestimate the power of art when it comes to shaping society, shaping culture, shaping the way people see us, especially as a nation. And we think art is only something that we draw or paint, or something that we like, the dance, the music. That's not only art. We human beings, the way we're created, that itself is art. The way we live our life, our lifestyle is art. The way our body function is art itself. Whether we like it or not, our daily life is art. And before I go into how African music is showing off how Africa is growing, I would love to talk about the impact of music on human brain, specifically African music. The first one is emotional stimulation. African music, the rhythm, the melodies help you feel that it helps your brain to release dopamine that makes you feel happy because of the beat and the rhythm and the melody. And also, African music helps you to feel relaxed. And if you're stressed, if you're anxious, that will, African music will help you be in that ease and relaxation mode, which help you to become creative in your work, think straight, decide, act right away, and all those stuff that comes with relaxation. The other one is cognitive benefits like memory. Guys, this was just like my moment because I never thought African music has that kind of, actually music has that kind of impact, but it does. It has cognitive benefits, like it helps you to remember stuff, it helps you to have high attention span, it helps you to focus because of, like when I say focus and attention, I meant by, because of the natural state of African music is unpredictable. So that's the nature of the music. So you have to keep up with the beats because it might go from da 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 to boom ba da ba da, you know. It's just like unpredictable. So you have to stay engaged with the music, and that will help you increase your attention span. The other one is your memory. Because of the repetition of rhythm, that helps you to encode and retrieve some informations that you have because of the repetition of some rhythms. The other one is physical benefits. Nowadays, I feel like it's very common to see people dancing, enjoying themselves, enjoying the environment by African music. They dance because you couldn't help yourself, but the beat itself makes you to move and just, you know, that itself can be an exercise. So that is a physical benefit of African music or music in general. So when we talk about how African music is helping Africa grow, I want to mention three major things. The first one is money, which is economy, baby. The second one is I want to talk about how it is getting recognized globally. The third one is I want to mention about the technological advancement that is being seen in the music industry. So when we first talk about the economy, as PwC and media outlets reported in their 2020 till 2024 report, it shows that African music global market share is growing 12%, which is enormous. Only through digital revenue like streaming, downloading, mobile music and stuff like that. That's huge, guys. It's only digital revenue, okay? Bold that out. I couldn't help but just think, if one musician, like one African artist, goes out in a crowd, sings a couple of songs, and just charge people, like just for that scene, how much money would that person collect? Just think about that. So that just shows how much demand there is for African music. So when we come to the when we come to the global recognition, the demand will bring us to this one. You know, global recognition means it shows for whom you're working, like who your target audiences are. For example, if you're working something locally, if you're doing something nationally, continentally, you'll be compared just like that. So when your work goes globally, it means that it has already got that approval to be recognized globally. So we can take Burna Boy, we can take Thames, we can take Meraba, we can take a lot of African artists that are getting recognized by international, big, huge, it may be like Grammys award, it might be like Billboard. When we talk about the Grammys, we can tell that different African artists are winning different Grammys by their African music. And their music is not just like too African, it's not too modern, or it's not too Western, it's not too African. It's just a perfect blend of two that helps people get attracted. The other one is when we talk about Billboard, like we can mention Burna Boy, African giant. His music has been in the top 20, 200 Billboard. 200 might seem a lot, guys, but it's just a huge achievement. It shows how much it's being listened, how much it's being noticed and upfronted. The other thing is, like, when you do music, before it was more about the lyrics, it's more about the melody, and sometimes it's more about the melody than the lyrics, and sometimes it's more about the lyrics than the melody. But nowadays it's all about what people see. It's not only about the melody and lyrics, but it's also how you interact with the audience through visual things like your production, your post-production. That all helps you just engage with the audience and make them feel somehow obsessed. I don't know if that sounds right, but like, you have to make your audience obsessed and just make them feel what you're trying to say to them through your lyrics and melody. So that shows how much people are investing in it, how much people are how much African artists, African musicians are investing on video clips to show off their culture, to show off their what kind of visualization that specific lyrics or that music would have, which will make you feel more connected with the music. Other than that, we can mention a lot of things like how much African music are getting streamed in different, like Apple Music, Spotify. They have created different playlists, like African hit playlists that millions of people have already followed, that people continuously engage with. And Apple Music itself has created a list of African playlists that because of the high demand of African music. It's not only about the demand, but the demand is growing because it's getting supplied. It's getting satisfied with the products or with the musics that Africans are producing at this time. And this will increase our global share in the market, and also it will help us market ourselves, like in not only money, but also culturally. It helps us to tell ourselves, to express ourselves, to help ourselves shape the way how people see us, you know? So yeah, guys, I hope next week or maybe in one of our episodes I will feature one musician from Africa, like African musician, and just have a very good interactive, like, you know, boom shakalaka kind of thing. I can't wait. Hopefully, I'm gonna promise that, guys. So everyone, this is what I had for you guys this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I did. I can't wait to see you guys next week, but please let us know what you think about this episode through our short SMS 6121, and as in for our digital media audiences, feel free to share us your thoughts below this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for staying. I love you guys. It was Meets Agabelai. Until I see you guys next week. Goodbye.